This video is a walkthrough of the current version of Java Swing Turtle Game version 1 used in this AP Java course, AP Computer Science A. When we run the program from scratch here at the website Replit, we see this Java Swing project run in the top window. But don't overlook the fact that error messages sometimes appear down here in the console window, just saying. So right now, this is just kind of a static program. It's not interactive, unlike some other things that you might have seen with me as a teacher. You can't like push the arrow keys to move around here. Right now, we do not have key bindings implemented, so none of the methods like .forward work in connection with keyboard controls like the press of the letter W. Not yet, at least. But what we do have is, inside this class named main, there is a static method named main with a lowercase m. So we do have what's called a client. This is a client. It's a main method that does something that makes use of a bunch of classes over here. Those classes are the servers, and this code is the client server. But within the client, we're creating a world, and that just has to be there. It's not covered on the AP exam, but it just has to be there for this to be fun. But I did create a method. That's something I made. So that's a call statement. And that means that somewhere in this file, because there's no something dot in front of it, that means that console setup had better be somewhere in this file. Because if it's not, it would be throwing a syntax error over here. And a compile error, I should say. So console setup in no particular order here. They can be typed out in any order, these methods. Console setup, in turn, calls another static method, Tim, called clear screen. So because there's no turtle dot or player dot clear screen, in this context, clear screen is also another method that's quite reusable if necessary, that only focuses on one task. Now this is just stuff that happens in the console window. No need to worry about that. I looked it up. It's stuff that's well beyond the AP exam, but it's cool because it clears the screen. But sometimes clearing the screen obscures your error messages. How about it, James? So you may want to, well, my error messages that he was faced with. So you may want to comment that out for now, so that whenever you run this program during development time period, you see all the potential error messages over here. So right now I'm going to make an error on purpose, and because it's commented out, putting an extra L in there in system out println, when I run this program, the error is caught by the console before the graphics system renders anything. And the interpretation here is that in the file main.java, on line 71, the compiler software behind the scenes thinks there's a problem with that dot. Well, the problem is not with that dot. The problem is further down the street where there's that LLN. And basically it's saying that the symbol, which is really just like a token, a variable name, or a method name, println, is like can't be found. So we fix that, we re-execute it, which basically recompiles it behind the scenes, which means checks it for errors and all that, and it runs it. So we're now off the ground, but we have a full listing in our console window of potential errors, because if you scroll up this, you're seeing all the like necessary stuff, some of which is totally oblivious to me. Like I don't understand it. It just is there. Now you can always clear this out by clicking this little tab there and getting a fresh run to make sure that you're not seeing other old news. Okay, back to the real issues at hand, even though that will help you survive, taking that clear screen out of the picture. So we have a bunch of static methods, console setup, display header, clear screen. But here's where the action really starts. A great upgrade for you to do as a student in this class would be to research the Java color class and maybe over here find the simple turtle class that Professor Barb Erickson wrote one time, and figure out that in her simple picture, in simple turtle, she provides you with behavior for a simple turtle object, such as get shell color. But she also provides with you set body color. Now I know in Python turtle graphics, they're named differently. Maybe they're copyrighted or something and she didn't want to use the same names, but maybe she should have, I don't know. Set width, there's so much here that you can use if you call it right. So from the perspective of main.java, that is the client, down here in public static void main string args, I can have this player do anything that is available in this simple turtle class as its behavior, like set shell color. But you have to pass the right parameters, because I seem to remember when I was over here looking around that simple turtle, when you set shell color, you have to provide to it a parameter, which is like f of x, x is a parameter, the actual number of the color that you're providing, that you intend. So don't confuse get shell color with set shell color. So the parameter of set shell color that's required is a parameter that has the data type not int, not double, not primitives, and not a string. That would be silly. Now in Python, you would type blue, you would type a string in double quotes, but this is not Python. You have to type something called a color. And this color, this could be like X. That's just a placeholder. So we need capital C, color. We need to investigate the color class. Java color class. It's online in a billion places, but you can use colors based on the information that's here. There's a color called black, and it's referenced by typing the name of the class, blah, 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 dot black. So right here in my program, I can type right here back in main, I could set the shell color of player to black, not the Python turtle way, and not just with the word black, but you have to actually type color dot black, because black is a constant in the color class, yada, yada. So now, instead of this purplish, you know what, I'm just gonna go with yellow to make it more dramatic. So moment of drama. When I run this, I should have a player that has a yellow shell color in about a minute that it takes to run this. Here it goes. And it's running, there it is. It's got a yellow shell color, but the pen color is still blue, because you can have a different color of shell than your pen color. So set pen color is probably what she named it, but I'd have to look it up. Oh, cool, there's a pen class. Wow, you can make like cool pens. There's so much power and flexibility in this, as long as you go into the right class, find the right functionality, read the documentation if necessary, and then go back to your client and make that turtle dance like TikTok has never seen before. It's all in the name of the turtle, in this case, player, dot, and then whatever the name of the method is, and then sometimes with empty parentheses where there are no parameters, and sometimes with a parameter, and sometimes you actually have to type two parameters in a certain order as prescribed. Oh, by the way, there's a thread class built into Java, and it has a sleep method that needs a number of milliseconds as its parameter. And the thread class, like color, can be accessed by just going to Oracle, the company that owns the rights to Java, blah, 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 .thread.html, takes you right to what's called the API for the thread class. Okay, it used to. Anyway, I would just Google it. It's not in AWT, it's in somewhere else, but anyway, I digress. Thread class, but nothing stopping you from becoming a future professional software developer in the world's most used language, Java. Not that it's the hippest and coolest, but it is the most used. There's the thread class in version 14 of Java, and the sleep method is explained. I do Command F, find sleep, and apparently sleep can be so exact that you give it a number of nanoseconds on top of milliseconds if you wanted to use it that way, or you can use it with just one parameter. It works two different ways there. Cool. Oh, and there's a start and a stop, but I digress even more. I hope you enjoyed this short video. That would have been shorter if I wasn't distracted by all these cool methods in the world of Java and in the world of simple and plain turtles over here in this project.